Hi everyone, happy holidays. I hope you're doing great and well. I haven't posted on here in like 4 days, and a part of me was like, I was asking my mom, I was like, I didn't post today. Do you think that's okay? And she was like, it's fine. You're spending time with the family and it's the holidays. And I was like, you know what? You're so right. Because I think so much of the time we're listening to, people who deem themselves successful on what it means to be consistent. And something I've always heard is uploading every day is their idea of being consistent. And I think it's a good time to remember that you know there should be a balance between rest and work. But just in general, we live in a society that we're always, okay, what's next? What am I going to do next? What's trendy? What can I post today that will get attention? Or like, what am I going to do with my career? All these things that we don't have time to rest. And I've noticed that even when I've gone on vacation, like say islands or something, everything is really slow pace. Everyone is really being in the moment, being with family, and just resting. They allow themselves time to rest physically and spiritually, whereas, in the West, in America, we're always going, 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 going. And that's just the culture of capitalism. And, you know, I really did enjoy like spending time with my family. And I think that it's important to say, I guess my message is that family over everything. Family over everything is what I believe in. And as I've gotten older and I've continued to mature, I've realized how important it is to be with family, because there have been times where I was younger where it was like, oh, well, I'll have time to spend time with my family. I'm going to go hang out with my friends. And a lot of the times, that's really not the case. People get wake up calls, where you have to realize that this is the time where you have to be with family, and it's always so important. And the holidays, are about spending time with family, but I think in general, we need to spend more time with family, not just when the holidays come. I know for me, when I'm around my family, I feel more connected in more ways than one. Just realizing that, seeing myself in different aspects within my family, like within my grandma or my aunt or my cousins, like we're all so similar. And when I say family too, because there is familial rifts, generational curses, or what have you, but not all blood is your family. And I think a lot of us can agree with that. But that's why it's important to realize that even though we are connected through blood, and because we are connected through blood, we should not let pettiness, drama, very minuscule things that in the grand scheme don't matter. What matters is being connected with this unit that you were brought into, and seeing how a family tree is. We're all connected to this one matriarch or this one patriarch that birthed all these different people, and then now it's us, and then now we lead to build an empire for our family. And that's why it's so important to let all the petty drama go, let all the negativity go, because as long as you know that in your heart you're a good person, that's all that matters. We all have those crazy uncles and them crazy cousins and stuff that they be saying things, or they hold grudges, and you just have to love them for how they are. Like, as unfortunate as it is, because we're all on our own path, we're all on our own journey. And why I stress that God is love is, as you know, and as long as you know, to continue to operate in love. Whatever someone does or how they act towards you shouldn't bother you, because, you know, we're all family. So, like I said, you're seeing aspects of yourself that you've overcome, but maybe someone in your family hasn't, and they express themselves in a different way that could be a little bit more negative. But either way, that's still family. Family over everything. And like I said, I've learned more about how important it is to be with family and to surround yourself with your loved ones, not even just during the holidays, but throughout the year. And I've had times too where, I had someone that I was friends with, and I was supposed to go back to my college town and hang out. But I had so much going on this one weekend, and then my uncle was coming into town, and I was just like torn. I was like, okay, what do I do? Like, I made this weekend plan with someone that I consider my friend, but then my uncle is coming into town on the same weekend. So what do I do? Like, do I split up my time? What have you? What have you? And I just ended up being like, no, family over everything. This is my uncle. At the end of the day, my uncle is always going to be beside me. We always going to stick together. I can't say the same about, certain friends. And that's just how I interpret it in general. Because this wasn't like a friendship where we were lifelong friends and stuff. Like, this is a college friend, you know what I mean? We partied together. So there's not the same level of support, of anchoring that there is with your family than it is with someone that you just met, you know? So I remember I ended up telling her, I'm like, hey, sorry this is last minute, but my uncle is coming into town and I really want to spend time with him. And I just have a lot going on this weekend. I can't make it down there. And I remember her response was, instead of, for me, something I'm also learning is that not everyone responds the way you want them to, okay? For me, I would have responded, hey girl, I understand, like, be with your family. Family is important. She responded and was like, aw, that sucks. I was really looking forward to seeing you. And I was like, okay, I'm going to mentally note that in my head, okay? And obviously I'm not friends with that person no more. But that's what I'm saying. And a lot of people that you meet are not going to have the same moral compass as you do. Maybe they don't think that family is as important, but for me it's important. So I kind of have my list in my head as far as when it comes to friends, when it comes to relationships. For me it's important to know how close you are with your family, or do you spend time with your family? What do you feel about family? Because I've grown up and I had a single mother. I have a single mother still. And for me, I always said, when I have kids, I have to make sure that whoever I have kids with has a good family dynamic, because I want there to be a family unit. I want the unit to be complete, because when you grow up, having family rifts or not having your dad in your life, you realize how important family is, and that some people don't even realize, how blessed they are to have, a big family, or a family that sticks together or has businesses together. So for me, that's definitely a deal breaker as far as anything. But yeah, family over everything. And that's just the video that I wanted to talk about today. I think life is beautiful, but it can happen in different ways that we may not see coming, because we're so wrapped up in what's next, what can I do next. We're just always in a rush for something because of this culture, this society that we're in, that we don't sit and spend time with those loved ones, and some things can happen in a blink of an eye, and then you kind of just are wishing you had more time, And I have made an effort that I'm going to spend time with my family as much as I can. And that's important to me. So I hope you guys continue to have a great rest of your day. And yeah, spend time with your family, not even just during the holidays. Love you.